Welcome back to Brandon Sports, everybody. Hope you have an amazing day. I'm here to give you guys my Royal Rumble review and reaction for January 31st, 2026. Before we get into the review, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more great content headed your way, share with your friends and family so we help the channel continue to grow. Now, my overall thoughts about this show was that I give it a D+. Really, I gave it a C-, but after mulling over some time and really thinking about how this show went, I'm giving it a D+. I thought the show was absolutely not good. It did not deliver on what we were promised. This entire night, the crowd was absolutely horrible in this environment. They're doing WrestleMania next year in Saudi Arabia. I don't know how they're going to do WrestleMania. I don't know how they're going to do WrestleMania over there. This crowd was awful tonight. The crowd was absolutely awful. Again, we're going to get into all the matches to break down. I'm going to give you bits and pieces of the Royal Rumble. I'm not going to break down the whole entire thing because I'll be here for like 5 hours reading every single thing that everybody did. I'm just going to give you the key points and what I thought about the both Royal Rumble matches, what I thought about the AJ Styles match and the Drew McIntyre match. I'm just going to give you guys that. But overall, besides the pyro, which made me glad to see that they did pyro at the beginning of the show because this was supposed to be built as a WrestleMania-esque setup and everything that they did, the production and everything that went into it. This was supposed to be a great show, which turned out to be not a good show at all. This Royal Rumble was not good at all. The booking, everything that happened, some of the things that they had throughout this entire show was just not good. The crowd, again, was absolutely horrible. I just don't understand. It looked like it was empty in there because of the lights in the arena. Even though it wasn't empty, it was actually a sold-out show, a packed-out house. But because the way the lighting was in the seats, the same thing with the Intuit Dome that the Clippers have. They had those lights on the seats, and the way the lights are so bright, it looked like nobody was in there. And I think they finally turned it off midway through the Women's Royal Rumble. And especially in the AJ Styles match, you could really tell and see how many people were in the crowd when they panned the camera on him at the end of his match. But overall, this show was not good at all. Besides the matches being okay, like AJ Styles versus Gunther was a really, really good match, a solid match. The Women's Royal Rumble, the beginning of it, halfway through, 75% of the Women's Royal Rumble was absolutely terrible. And if anybody tells you that I'm up here lying, I'm capping, all this stuff like that, they're lying to you. They just want to kiss WWE's ass. This entire Women's Royal Rumble was awful. 75% of it was awful. The other last 25%, and I'm going to tell you guys when we get there. This first 75% of this Royal Rumble was horrible until the last 25% saved it and basically gave this Royal Rumble a C-. Not going to be too harsh because they did come through at the end. But as far as getting an A+, an A, an A-, a B+, a B, a B-, a C+, a C was a C-. That's what this was. It wasn't a D+, a D-, whatever grade, school grade you want to give this. This show, at the beginning, was just a snooze fest. After that, AJ Styles and Gunther was a very, very good match. Then you had Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. The crowd was absolutely awful for that match. We'll get into it. And then you had the Men's Royal Rumble, was very, very predictable. And some stupid people booked this show. No disrespect. But they booked this show so badly because you had to say that Finn Balor, which we'll get into that. I'm not going to spoil too much. But Finn Balor was not given a spot in the Royal Rumble after Adam Pearce told him that it was too full. Just for some of the entrances that we got. And by the way, before we mainly get into the entire show, Triple H has to stop talking. Triple H just has to stop talking about wrestling, period. I don't want to see Triple H no more on TV anymore. I don't want to see him do anything besides be backstage and do creative. He's too out in the open, front and center, to continuously keep lying to everybody like this. At the end of this, which I waited to watch that post-WWE show, which we'll get to that later on in the review and my reaction. But Triple H, not only did he lie for this entire Royal Rumble, at the end of that post show, because I sat there and said, I usually never do that, I just come straight to the videos. I said, you know what? I'm going to sit here and watch this post show and see what all of these superstars, what Liv Morgan had to say, what Gunther had to say, what the Drew McIntyre have to say, and hopefully we would have got Roman Reigns, because even Michael Cole said on commentary, the person who wins the Men's Royal Rumble should be on the post show, and of course Roman Reigns was too busy for everybody, so he didn't show up either. But everybody who won their matches showed up, which was Liv Morgan, again, won the Royal Rumble. That's a little spoiler, but everybody at the end was basically there, except for Roman Reigns. You got Triple H out there, and at the end of that post show press conference, he lied again. I'm gonna read you the quote that I saw on X. But this, again, was not a great show. I give it a D+. The show was a D+ to me. If I want to be generous and be nice, a C-. But the mood that I'm in right now, doing this video and giving you guys my reaction, I'm not in a good mood. If I'm in a better mood, it's a C-. But this was a D+. It was a snore fest. And they did not deliver on this show once again. Saturday night's main event overall was a better show than this Royal Rumble. And I'm not lying to you. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm not protecting Triple H. I'm not doing any of those things. This show, I'm telling you guys right now, was absolutely dreadful. Especially the first 75% of the Women's Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn's match, and the Men's Royal Rumble was boring until they got to the 20s and entrances. I'm telling you this right now. But we're going to get into it. That was my little monologue. Again, the only thing that was really impressive was that they opened the show with pyrotechnics, and they ended the show with pyrotechnics. And we'll get into that too, because I felt type of at the end of the show when I had all those pyrotechnics. They should have used it for the Royal Rumble winners, and they just used so much. I don't know. It was just, this entire thing was just bizarre. We start off with the Women's Royal Rumble match, and this is the match for me. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss started the match. They basically wasted the time, both women being in the match. I'm not going to give you guys a breakdown of the match because I really want you guys to go back and see how horrible the beginning of this was. I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts about everything. We're going to run through it. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss started this match and they didn't do anything. They wasted a lot of time. Kiana James come out and I thought that she was very impressive. And usually I criticize Kiana James in my SmackDown review just for being next to Julia. I never wanted her to be next to Julia. I feel like Julia's a star on her own. She doesn't need to be a manager. Kiana James really did something impressive in this Royal Rumble. She was the third entrance in. Nia Jax came in fourth. I thought she was okay in this Royal Rumble. Again, not going to really criticize her for anything. She didn't eliminate anybody, which is, they gave that spot to eliminating a lot of people. They gave that to Last Legend. She eliminated over 5 people in this entire Royal Rumble. She eliminated the most people. But other than that, Nia Jax was okay. Ivy now didn't really do anything. Lola Vice looked great, but she came out to basically crickets. They didn't really cheer for her. A little bit, yeah, but not really. Candice LeRae was basically a waste of time. They didn't do anything. Jordan Grace, again, they wasn't really cheered like that. Becky Lynch came out afterwards where she was cheered. So Ruka was actually cheered, which I was actually surprised to see that everybody cheered her. Roxanne Perez was a standard pop. Maxine Dupree was a standard cheering. Natalya, they debuted her new, you could say, gimmick or whatever it is. She came out as Natty. Again, why would you have her come out as Natty in front of this crowd in this Royal Rumble with a new entrance? They should have done this on Monday Night Raw in Philadelphia because it would have been appreciated more. Her coming out as Natty instead of Natalya was not appreciated by this crowd. I cannot begin to stress to you how bad this crowd was. Again, WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi next year. And if I'm WWE, I'm doing one night only. I'm not doing 2 nights of WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. This crowd was absolutely horrible. Terrible crowd. For an entire show, stop bringing WWE over there. You can do 1 or 2 events, that's fine. But when it comes to Royal Rumble WrestleMania, that's why if Vince McMahon, and I don't want Vince McMahon back in creative, when Vince McMahon was in charge of WWE, what did he do? He made sure not to sell out the product. And this company, even when WrestleMania was announced to be in Riyadh, was told, you guys are sellouts. And they put it in the comment section on YouTube when they were doing a press conference and said, sold out, you sold your soul, you sold out, you sold out, you sold out the company. Tonight, the stage looked great. They built it in over 20 days. That's fine. But all in all, this crowd was absolutely horrible. And I'm going to tell you when the crowd picked up at and where it dropped off at for the rest of the show. Again, Natty came out. I was surprised they had her in the Royal Rumble just because, again, why would you debut her new character at the Rumble when it's not going to be appreciated by the Saudi crowd? It's just not. Liv Morgan came out to a nice pop. Last Legend didn't really come out to a pop, but she really dominated this Royal Rumble. She eliminated, like I said, 5 people. She really liked the dominant one here, and she eliminated some people. She eliminated Io Sky. She eliminated Nikki Bella. She eliminated Brie Bella. She eliminated Jordan Grace, and she eliminated Charlotte Flair. So she eliminated a lot of people that was basically above stature, but I know what I did. They're trying to build a new star in Last Legend, even though I told you guys I like Last Legend, but she's a little bit green. But again, I think she had a great performance, especially how big and tall she is. She has a lot of stature, and she's tall. Again, she's still learning, so I'm not going to criticize her that much. Coming from NXT to the main roster, she has to get better. The same thing in this match. A lot of things in this match, and this is not on Last Legend. This is the entire match. The entire match, it seems like you could tell people are getting their spots in. You could just tell. Like, it's just, I always thought with women's wrestling, I really love watching a lot of these women wrestle, especially Jordan Grace. I told you guys I really like Jordan Grace, and the way they did her in this match was just absolutely filthy. I like watching women's wrestling. One of the greatest women's wrestling matches that I saw was Sasha Banks and Bayley at NXT, but it just seems like a lot of women's wrestling, you could just tell how choreographed it actually is, and that's pretty much the down point of women's wrestling, is that of the choreographedness. But other than that, they do have great wrestlers. This is the greatest women's division in any company in history of wrestling. I applaud these women for having one of the best women's divisions in the history of wrestling. It is. But it just seems like more practice needs to be had with some of the talent. Not all. Some of these guys are professionals. Some of these women are professionals. They know where they can get it right. But some of these women still look green in the ring because it just looks a little bit too choreographed. Again, I'm not criticizing all the women. And the same thing with men too. Some men look choreographed too. I'm not going to sit up here and just be, put on the women. I'm going to say the men too. They botch a lot too. But when it comes to women, certain things you could just tell were choreographed. So after that, Liv Morgan comes out, and the Royal Rumble Last Legend again had a strong presence. Zelina Vega came out with nothing, and by the way, I just want to say this too. Zelina Vega is better than what people think she is. However, when you have her come out with the same entrance music as Friday Night SmackDown, that's a problem. That is a problem. When you have her come out with the SmackDown theme song, it sounds just the same. If it's different, then I apologize. But it sounds just the same. This was ridiculous. She came out to nothing. There was no pop. Raquel Rodriguez came out. She looked dominant. She eliminated 2 people. She looked dominant. Chelsea Green, again, had a nice character. Again, I'm tired of the Secret Service, but I do like Chelsea Green. And she had a nice pop. She had a very, very nice pop. I thought she had one of the probably 3rd or 4th largest pops in this division, Royal Rumble, the women's division, Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley had the loudest pop. And surprisingly, which we'll get to, Brie Bella had the 2nd biggest pop. And then I think after that, you would say Liv Morgan, and then you would say Chelsea Green had a top 4 pop in this match. Chelsea Green was phenomenal again. She didn't eliminate anybody, but the way she was in this match, the way she sold everything that she did, she looked really great in this match. Julia came out next to basically no reaction. Io Scott came out, it was a nice cheer. Asuka came out, it was okay. Rhea Ripley had the 2nd biggest pop I thought of this entire Women's Royal Rumble. Then after that, Bayley came out, her theme song is awful. JC Jane from NXT was okay. Nikki Bella came out to a nice pop. She had probably the 5th best pop in this match. Lara Valkyria, the woo, the chants, it was okay. Kalani Jordan came out to 0, came out to crickets. This is why this crowd is very, very bad. She came out to crickets, and she's actually a phenomenal wrestler, and she came out to crickets. Kairi Sane came out, nobody really cared, and then Brie Bella had the biggest pop, the 2nd biggest pop, to me the biggest pop. Some people say Rhea Ripley was first, but the combination of pops that Brie Bella got, I thought was very, very good. Brie Bella got the biggest pop of the night for the women, in my opinion. And then Tiffany Stratton came out at 30. So those are all 30 women that came out in this match. Again, I thought Last Legend had a great Women's Royal Rumble. I thought Rhea Ripley looked great. I thought the Bella Twins together, when they both eliminated Lara Valkyria and Bayley at the same time, I thought they looked great. I thought Last Legend looked great, eliminating both Nikki Bella and Brie Bella in this match. Again, Charlotte Flair accidentally eliminated Bliss in this match, which hopefully that's going to lead to something. And Liv Morgan eliminated Raquel Rodriguez in this match. Now, here's my thing. If you get thrown over the top rope in the Women's Royal Rumble or any Royal Rumble, and you get mad, some people actually pull you out of the ring and beat you up. I'm surprised that this didn't happen. Now, I know there's more story to tell, so I'm not going to jump ahead. But at the same time, I'm sitting here looking like Liv Morgan eliminates Raquel Rodriguez. And as soon as she eliminates her, she's just standing there looking at Liv Morgan as if, have you lost your damn mind? And the way she's looking at her, I'm like, you know what? How about you say something, do something? But I know they're not going to jump ahead because of the story that's impending on that. But she's looking at her, and then Liv Morgan is just laughing in her face. That's why I'm like, why isn't Raquel Rodriguez doing anything? She's literally laughing in your face. So I'm sitting there like, man, what is going on? She's just laughing and laughing and laughing in this woman's face. And I'm like, man, what are you doing? You got to do something. You got to do something. She's just laughing. I'm like, what are you, like, what? I just didn't get it. So we fast forward to the end of this match. Tiffany then blocks a kick from Liv, and she hits a forearm. Liv then hits a code breaker to Tiffany, and Soul hits a springboard X Factor. Liv then avoids a Soul Snatcher, and Tiffany hits a drop kick off Soul's back on Liv. Tiffany hits a handspring back elbow to Soul, and Liv hits a knee. Tiffany then hits a Finlay slam, and she hits then the prettiest movesaw ever on Liv, and Soul moves. Soul then hits a double Soul Snatcher on Tiffany and Liv. Soul then picks up Liv and Tiffany, but they pull Soul over the rope, and they're all basically hanging on the top rope. Soul then hits some kicks on the apron. Soul is sent to the ring post. Tiffany then pushes Soul off the apron, and she tries to hit the Soul Snatcher off the ring post. Liv then pushes Tiffany to the floor to eliminate Tiffany. The winner of the match was the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan. Now, there's one thing I want to go back to before I get to Liv Morgan winning this match. Whoever thought about this spot with Rika, however you say her name, was one of the worst spots that you could ever think. If you ever see Sol Ruka do the Soul Snatcher, she has to jump off the rope, do a flip, and basically do a cutter. It goes into a cutter. She was getting ready to do this outside of the ring, outside of the ring on the apron. If she hits her finishing move, she's eliminated. Who told her to do this? And by the way, just as quick stock, I'm looking at her name. Becky Lynch was eliminated in this Royal Rumble in a disgusting way. I know she's eliminated by Natty, but still, it was ridiculous. But anyway, Sol Ruka, if she hits the Soul Snatcher outside on that apron, as soon as she hits it, she goes to the ground and Liv Morgan wins anyway. So whoever, because she's going to hit on Tiffany Stratton, so whoever booked that point, if she actually hit that move, the match would have been over. That was one of the most self-sabotaging moves that you could do for somebody. Why would you put her in that position to do that? It made no sense. I read you guys at the end of the Royal Rumble. Liv Morgan basically hit the Oblivion on Tiffany Stratton on the rope. She basically hit the Oblivion. She was in the corner, basically where Sol Ruka was trying to hit the Soul Snatcher. She pushes her off. Tiffany Stratton pushes her off. Then after that, she goes for an Oblivion, because it's Liv Morgan. She hits the Oblivion, and then Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble. She points to the sign, and the confetti and the pyro, not confetti, but the pyro goes off. I thought that this match, again, for the first, and I'm going to read it right now, for the first 28 entrances, this match was very, very quiet. The crowd was not into this match at all. If you go back and watch this, the moment that this match picked up was when Brie Bella entered. She got the biggest pop. She hit the yes kicks. It was phenomenal. I was actually happy for Brie Bella in this match that she gets to come back in the crowd. She got one of the biggest pops, and she woke up this crowd. I don't think if she comes out, if she wasn't here and they put somebody else in this spot, she doesn't wake up this crowd until there was 4 women remaining or 3 women remaining. Brie Bella, give her a credit. She's a Hall of Famer. Fine. She woke up this entire crowd tonight. They were dead throughout this entire match. Don't let me tell you that I'm lying, because you can go and watch it yourself. This entire match was dead. The crowd, again, I told you guys, 75%. Brie Bella's pop woke up this crowd. Rhea Ripley's pop did too, but it got back quiet again. Brie Bella's pop that she got and the ovation that she got from the crowd woke up this match and basically awakened the crowd. And now, after that, then everything started going. But again, Liv Morgan was a Rumble. A lot of people picked Liv Morgan. Again, I wanted Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is not here. Her hand injury must be really bad. That thumb, I don't know what it is, that her middle finger, the bone is swollen and it's not going down for some reason. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if she's cleared or not. But that is a lot. It is a lot to sit up here and say that she has not wrestled since WrestleMania 41. She has not wrestled since WrestleMania. That was April 19th and April 20th of 2025. It's January 31st, 2026. The last time we seen Bianca Belair in a wrestling ring, she was the special guest referee for Jade Cargill and Naomi at the Women's Evolution pay-per-view, or Premium Live event, excuse me. But that's the last time we saw Bianca Belair, and she was in this match. If she's not being set up for the Elimination Chamber, I don't know, then she's probably not going to come back until her hand's better. And it takes over a year for her hand to heal, which I don't know what's going on. Again, prayers out to her. Hopefully her hand heals so that she can come back. But I was like, man, she didn't come back on this show. Hopefully she comes back in Chicago. She'll get a nice pop in Chicago at the United Center. There's the first pay-per-view that's going to be there in 30 years. So she should get a nice pop. And they should set her up for the Elimination Chamber to go and face Jade Cargill again. Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble. Everybody said that Liv Morgan should win. Again, I wanted Bianca Belair. If not Bianca Belair, maybe AJ Lee. But AJ Lee wasn't even there, and I don't blame her. I understand CM Punk made amends with Saudi Arabia, but I know that she probably, I'm not going to speculate because I don't know what her reasoning is, but again, maybe she felt the same way and just didn't say anything and she stayed at home. I don't know what it was. Maybe she just wasn't booked for this. Maybe she'll win it next year. Hopefully she's a part of it next year. And if she wasn't here now, hopefully she'll be at WrestleMania this year, maybe even WrestleMania next year. Maybe, maybe not. So again, I don't know what happened with AJ Lee, but AJ Lee and Bianca Belair were not in this Royal Rumble. Was I surprised Bianca Belair wasn't in the Royal Rumble? By the time it got to Brie Bella, I was like, you know what? I can see her not being in it because I was like, Tiffany Stratton's probably going to come back, and what she did come out at number 30. But again, Bianca Belair and AJ Lee wasn't in this match. Again, this Royal Rumble was completely boring, and it's not on the women. It's not on them. It wasn't on the women. A lot of things, yeah, you can say is choreographed and a miss and whatever case may be. There was really no surprise in this Royal Rumble except for Brie Bella and Tiffany Stratton. And Brie Bella got all of the momentum. Happy to see her back in the company, if she's even back in the company, or if this was a one-off, we don't know. They did say the Bella Twins are back, so hopefully to see them win the tag team titles at WrestleMania. You can give them the tag team titles at WrestleMania and give them their last little run, and then after that they can retire and go into the sunset like I know they want to. But now there's an opportunity with the Bella Twins being back, if they're really back, which they teased on X. then we should be able to see the Bella Twins at WrestleMania win the tag team titles and let them get a nice little run into SummerSlam and then go off into the sunset and give them something, because they're Hall of Famers. They've been put in the Hall of Fame and everybody thought this career's over and they're back now. So again, Brie Bella says she had one more run left in her. On a podcast, Nikki Bella's been back since last year's Royal Rumble. She came back again. So for me, again, Brie Bella was the highlight of this Royal Rumble. Liv Morgan winning was the highlight, but Brie Bella and her pop was definitely the highlight of this Royal Rumble. Again, it wasn't because of the women and how the match was bad. It was just the crowd and the way some of the things were set up in this match that was really bad. Again, I don't blame the women. I blame the people who booked the match. I'm not going to blame the women. They went out there and they did the best that they could. The crowd was horrible and they tried. They tried their best. But the crowd was terrible, and whoever booked this Royal Rumble, the way that they did at the beginning, and had basically all of the top people come out towards the end, should have mixed it up a little bit. But again, Liv Morgan wins, and we don't know who she's going to face at WrestleMania. I don't think she's going to target Jade Cargill. I think the company's going to have her stay on Raw, so I think she's probably going to face Stephanie Valkyria for right now, unless Raquel Rodriguez wins the title on Monday on Raw in that Philadelphia Street Fight. And if she does, you could say basically everybody's saying that it could be a three-way at WrestleMania. Raquel Rodriguez walks in as champion against Liv Morgan, and maybe Roxanne Perez wins Elimination Chamber, and they all can face each other at WrestleMania and basically boost up that Judgment Day story. But until then, we're not going to know. Right now, I do think she's not going to go to SmackDown and face Jade Cargill. I think she's going to stay on Raw and pick Stephanie Valkyria. But that she said at the post-show that that's not going to come until later, and that she'll talk to the Judgment Day about it. So again, this opening, the last 25% of this Women's Royal Rumble was fantastic at the end, but the first 75% again was absolutely terrible by the crowd and some of the decisions that were put in this match. Again, Becky Lynch, the way that she was eliminated, debuting Natalia's new character, which again, I don't know why they did that at that particular time when the crowd was not going to care. A lot of these women got crickets in this match. And just to see them out there in full body suits, and I know they were probably hot because I know they said that before. Just for them having to endure that alone is just disappointing. But I'm not gonna get into the political side of it. But again, Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble. Everybody's happy for Liv Morgan. The Judgment Day. Hopefully, we get more story now leading to a breakup. Hopefully, the story will continue and progress when it comes to the Judgment Day and Liv Morgan. But nonetheless, Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble. After the match, Cole says Morgan was a bridesmaid no more. Morgan then celebrates her win and she is cheered. She then plays to the crowd and sits down and looks at the WrestleMania sign. Morgan then exits the ring and yells at the camera about how it's her match and that she's going to WrestleMania. Morgan then backs her way to the entrance ramp. We head to the back where Oba Femi is shown warming up for the Men's Royal Rumble. We then head to the back where Javon Evans is shown preparing for the Men's Royal Rumble. Photos of some of the greatest WWE superstars that have won the Royal Rumble over the years are shown. Gunther then makes his way down to the ring for the next match, and AJ Styles follows. Now, AJ Styles versus Gunther, to me, if you look at this entire match, and I'm going to look at the match card, the Women's Royal Rumble was an hour and 7 minutes. Gunther and AJ Styles was 24 minutes and 15 seconds. Drew McIntyre defeated Sami Zayn in 16 minutes. And Roman Reigns, obviously, if you see it by now, this Men's Royal Rumble match lasted 56 minutes and 10 seconds. I thought AJ Styles and Gunther delivered a really great match. This was a great match again. I'm not going to go over every single thing that they did here because I'm not a play-by-play person. I did a play-by-play when it became a Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. That's because it was a nice brawl. But I do get to the end of this match, and AJ Styles then gets back to his feet, and Gunther chops him again. AJ then hits forearms. The referee then pulls AJ out of the corner for the count. Gunther then sends AJ to the apron. AJ hits a forearm. Gunther then catches AJ on the ropes. Gunther clinches in a sleeper. Gunther then clinches in a body scissors to add to the sleeper. AJ then elbows Gunther in the calf. Gunther then hits some elbows and reapplies a sleeper. AJ then hits some elbows to the leg to try to escape. AJ then tries to get to the ropes and Gunther traps his hand. He basically swatted his hand away. He started hitting his elbows and his neck and he returned to sleeper hold. Gunther then he clinches in a body scissors. AJ then passes out and the referee checks his arm, lifts up his arm and he calls for the bell. The winner of this match, singles match, was Gunther. Now, again, this was a good match. Again, I'm not going to go over all the play-by-play of it. It was a great match, 24 minutes of pure great wrestling. At the beginning, it was a little bit slow, but Gunther did pick it up. My problem with Gunther was as soon as he tapped out, he starts laughing again. I'm like, you're being a menace throughout the entire match, and then you start laughing again. As soon as the match is over, you retired him, you laughed at him, and then at the post-show, you said that you made him tap out like a little bitch. Again, using profanity is not going to get you to be a heel, a great heel. being a menacing heel that are retiring. You retired Goldberg first, then John Cena, and now AJ Styles. That should give you the credibility that you need. But instead, what happens? You go out there, you had a great match, and then as soon as the match is over, what do? You start laughing. I'm like, man, for once, have a serious look on your face. Why are you just laughing, snickering? Who told this guy that laughing is a good thing in these matches? Or after the match, basically, I know you're laughing at the fact that you retired him, but you have not gotten any great heat since you retired John Cena. The company has not booked Gunther great at all. And to see him to just laugh at the end of this, I guess he's laughing at AJ Styles, but it just comes across like, man, to not to take him seriously. But after that, after the match, referee checks on AJ, and AJ asks what happened because he passed out. The crowd then gives AJ a standing ovation. AJ then removes his gloves and wants to put them on the mat, but he puts them back on. AJ then leaves the ring, then he returns to the ring to pose on the turnbuckles. AJ Styles' music then hits. Styles then leaves the ring for the final time as Sally walks to the back. This was a great match for AJ Styles. AJ Styles, again, if this is truly it for AJ Styles and his retirement, congratulations on a great career. One of the greatest of all time in this business. I think he made a point on Raw to say his WWE career. I think that he's going to probably go to TNA, maybe AEW. I don't know. Triple H did say in a post show that he would retire from in-ring competition, that he would give him a role backstage if he wanted it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think he said he wanted to retire. Hopefully, if he does leave this company and goes to do something in TNA one more time, if he goes to AEW, I do hope he wins the AEW World title. Again, he didn't win a World Heavyweight title now. He got to wrestle CM Punk for it, but again, I do think, personally, I would like to see him go to AEW and win that World title. Other than that, but maybe win the TNA World title again, AEW World title, go to New Japan and win the World Championship, and then call it a career, then you come back to WWE and do something. Other than that, it was a great match between AJ Styles and Gunther. At the end, I would have had Gunther be a little bit more serious, but you had him laughing, and to me, that was just disappointing. Why is he laughing? And by the way, for AJ Styles to be submitted, they have to stop doing this. Gunther's going to choke and lay you out, but let him hit a powerbomb. Let him get a pinfall victory. He submitted, Goldberg, John Cena, now AJ Styles. I understand the submission is lackluster. I'm telling you guys, it's lackluster. Now, as soon as he hit the submission, and he's choking him out, and the referee calls for the bell, it was a dead silence in there. No, you didn't hear you couldn't hear a pin or a penny drop in an entire arena. That's how quiet it was when AJ Styles lost, because people just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Even I knew he was going to lose, but I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, what is going on? Why is it so silent? And then the good thing that WWE did this, whoever was back there in production, they let it be quiet for a little bit, and then they played Gunther's music. That was a great touch on that. But again, it was a great match between AJ Styles and Gunther. Maybe this might not be the end for AJ Styles, but we'll see what it is. Again, if this is it for him and he's done and he's really tired and he wants to be on the backstage role and he really wants to just put his boots up, and that's it. He debuted in Royal Rumble 2016, and now he retires, at the end of the 2026 Royal Rumble. A great run, nonetheless, for AJ Styles. One of the greatest of all time in the ring, in this business. He was in WCW, he was in TNA, New Japan, WWE, and if he does go to AEW, he'll have hit all of the companies. But again, I thought that was a very, very great match between those gentlemen. We then get a preview of WWE 2K26. Penta Dragon and Rey Mysterio are shown backstage warming up for the men's Royal Rumble match. Again, they have all these luchadors together and could not put Rey Fenix with his brother. Oh boy. Sami Zayn then makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the PLE, and Drew McIntyre follows. I'm skimming to the end of this match because I want to talk about this actual match in its entirety. So Drew McIntyre powerbombed Sami Zayn, and the announcer says this is one of the shortest matches on the card. It was only 16 minutes. I know it wasn't going to go long because we'll get to that in a minute, but I knew it wasn't going to go long. The way they're pacing it, to me, this match never hit second gear, especially with the crowd. This crowd was awful. I'm not lying to you guys when I say this crowd was awful, or misspeaking the truth at all. This crowd was horrible. And I'm surprised because this is Sami Zayn we're talking about. He has not home field advantage, but he represents them in some way. So again, this crowd was horrible for Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre put Sami Zayn through an announce desk. Then they started chanting, "This is awesome," which throughout the entire match, they were quiet. The other referees then come on and check on Sami Zayn. This is how I know everything is fake. When you have multiple referees come out and check on Sami Zayn or check on somebody, I know it's not great unless they throw up the X sign. And Charles Robinson did not throw up the X, so I already know that they were doing something planning on this. And I hate when they continuously do this. When they somebody looks like they're hurt. They get all these referees to get around them, and then the wrestler says, "Move out the way," and pushes them out the way, and it picks up the person. They do this spot way too much. It picks them up, puts them back in the ring, where the case may be. And they're doing that to draw sympathy for Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn doesn't need sympathy. I'll get to that in a minute. But after that, they put him through the announce desk. The referee's coming to check on him. Drew then sends Sami back into the ring. Drew then hits a boot to the back. Drew then punches Sami. Drew then slaps Sami. Kendrick kept slapping Sami Zayn. Sami then hits and exploded into the turnbuckle. Sami goes for a hula kick. He's basically pumping himself up. The same routine that he does. He's pumping himself up with the crowd. He goes for the hula kick, but Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore. Then Drew does not make the cover. He hits another Claymore for the win. Drew McIntyre retained. This crowd was absolutely terrible for this match. Again, Drew McIntyre was a menacing heel. He did not care. He said he'll do whatever it takes. He put a powerbomb. Sami Zayn did basically a dive outside the ring, hurt his back, and Drew McIntyre went right it directly and worked on his back. Again, Drew McIntyre said he would do anything to retain the championship, but that's exactly what he did. Now, moving on to Drew McIntyre going into WrestleMania or the Elimination Chamber for now, he's still WWE Champion. We all knew he was going to retain his championship. And not only that, but Sami Zayn, I'm done. No more. Drew McIntyre beat him 11 straight times. He's 12-0 against him overall. Now he's 13-0 against him overall. No more Sami Zayn being WWE Championship. Enough is enough. He's not going to win it. This story about continuously caring about Sami Zayn trying to be WWE Champion, and now some people are saying that we have to wait until next year because WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi, and that's when they're going to put the WWE title on him. Man, nobody's making a whole other year. Nobody cares anymore. Oh, it doesn't hurt Sami Zayn. It does hurt Sami Zayn when it comes to the world title. Enough. I'm tired of seeing this story. Oh, the underdog. He's not an underdog anymore. You made it. He's not the underdog anymore. I know there's Sami Zayn fans going to hate when I'm saying this, but he is not the underdog anymore. He's not. This match was completely, they didn't go into second gear for me, and this match was boring because the crowd was horrible. Not only the crowd was horrible, but they didn't cheer for Sami Zayn like that. They said this was awesome at the end, which it wasn't awesome. Drew McIntyre basically dominated this entire match. Sami Zayn basically got a couple of great moves, a dive in here and there, an exploder in the ring corner, but again, this is all about Drew McIntyre dominating Sami Zayn, hitting with 2 Claymores, and after that. Now, he did hit the Future Shock DDT 3 times, and Sami Zayn kicked out. And Drew McIntyre was shocked. But other than that, this was just pure domination by Drew McIntyre in this match. I'm tired of no more Sami Zayn with the WWE Championship. Let him do something else. If he has to turn heel and do something, then maybe, even though I can't stand Sami Zayn as a heel. But again, I would literally have him just be away from the WWE Championship. No more. He's not going to be Drew McIntyre. He's not going to be in for the WWE Championship. I'm not doing it again. I know I keep saying again, but again, get him out of the championship title picture because it's not great for Sami Zayn. He's not coming to the WWE title. Do I care about it? Not anymore. This was it for me. This was last straw. I know he's going to lose, but I don't care about Sami Zayn becoming WWE champion. Now, we get to the men's Royal Rumble. Ring announcer Mark Nash did announce it is time for the men's Royal Rumble, and Obafemi and Braun Breaker make their way down to the ring for the 2 entries of this match. Obafemi starts out the match. The match starts off with a man in a hoodie. And this is where I roll my eyes. This is all we got. The man in the hoodie attacks Braun Breaker in front of him. He hits him. The man then sends Braun hard into the ring steps. And he kicks him in the face and hits a stop on the floor. The man then puts Braun back in the ring. Obafemi then waits for Braun Breaker to stand up. And he easily clotheslines him over the top rope. Paul Heyman then claims it's Seth Rollins. After that, Solo Sikoa makes his way down to the ring. And after that, this Royal Rumble, again, was completely boring at the beginning. It was fine, Royal Rumble, but it was boring at the beginning. Obafemi had the first 5 eliminations. He eliminated Braun Breaker. He eliminated Solo. Rey Mysterio came out after Solo Sikoa came out. Rusev came out, who looked like he just got completely buried. They completely just buried him. He eliminated Solo Sikoa, which I was shocked that Solo Sikoa got eliminated so early, but they brought these big guys out, except for Rey Mysterio being shorter, but they brought these big guys out to basically go up against Obafemi. Obafemi eliminated Braun Breaker with the help of the Masked Man, which again, why do we continuously keep having men show up in black hoodies and with masks on? You did it with Becky Lynch when she hit CM Punk. You had them do it with Solo Sikoa when he debuted. You had all these people come in this black hoodie. R-Truth come back in the black hoodie. My goodness, enough with this. Now we have to wait until Monday Night Raw to see who was in his hood. And by the way, people say it's Adam Pearce. I think it was Finn Balor. I don't know. Maybe it was Finn Balor. Maybe it was somebody trying to act like it was Seth Rollins. To me, Seth Rollins said he wasn't going to be there. He's going to be at home watching his daughter while Becky Lynch is in the Royal Rumble. Again, this match at the beginning was okay. But that was not Seth Rollins. They probably had somebody cosplaying as Seth Rollins, and then after that, it's probably going to be revealed later on in a couple of months who it was. Again, this is just lazy. Braun Breaker, what was this? What was that about? He couldn't be in the Royal Rumble. He couldn't go over the top rope. Gunther, who, little spoiler, he was number 30. He got put over the top rope. Why couldn't you do anything with Braun Breaker? This is just pure laziness, man. It really is. Solo Sikoa comes out. He gets eliminated by Obafemi. Obafemi eliminates Rey Mysterio. Rusev come out. Matt Cardona comes out. He gets eliminated by Obafemi again. Then Damian Priest is out next. Has a pretty good showing. Javon Evans literally lasted a long time in this Royal Rumble. He really surprised me. The one thing that they had Javon Evans doing that was just so stupid. I know he's a high flyer, but in the Royal Rumble, you cannot continuously keep jumping over the rope to go out on the apron and then jump back in the ring. Because if you do that, somebody can just kick you right off. Don't jump over the apron and be outside the ring. Why would you have him outside the ring like that? That made absolutely no sense. Continuously, he kept doing it the whole entire night, jumping out of the ring, then out, and then I'm like, what are we doing? It's the Royal Rumble. After Javon Evans comes out, Mr. Iguana comes out. This is why Finn Balor couldn't get a spot, because you had Mr. Iguana in the Royal Rumble. Who cares about Mr. Iguana? Nobody cares about AAA. If you do, great for you, but I don't watch AAA. I don't care about it. Who cares? This meant nothing. Damian Priest wound up giving a chokeslam to Mr. Iguana and his little iguana, the little stuffed animal that he had. This was just so disappointing, horrible for Damian Priest. I felt bad for Damian Priest. Yeah, he had to go through this foolishness with Mr. Iguana. After that, Trick Williams is out. Trick Williams came out. Very, very nice ovation for Trick Williams. They were chanting, whoop that Trick. Again, he has the makings of a superstar in this business. After him, Cody Rhodes came out. El Grande Americano number 2 came out, which again is just so embarrassing. Finn Balor couldn't be in this Royal Rumble, but you had El Grande Americano number 2, which is Ludwig Kaiser. And the other 2 stupid Americanos is out on a rant with him. He comes down to the ring. He does some moves. After that, El Grande Americano number 1 comes out, which is really Chad Gable. So he returned with a beard. He had a beard on and did the whole, we pull up 2 fingers and says C, and they both eliminated each other. This was absolutely stupid. El Grande Americano number 2 was eliminated by El Grande Americano number 1, and then Trick Williams eliminated them. After that, Royce Keys came out, who was formerly known as Powerhouse Hobbs in AEW. He came out. He was eliminated by Bronson Reed, but again, I don't know why they would put him in this match. They didn't really give him a nice showing. He did a little something with Bronson Reed, but that was it, and they eliminated him. I just didn't understand why putting him here. He basically got virtually no pop. Austin Theory came out, got no pop. Bronson Reed basically got booed. Ian Dragunov again came out with nothing. They had some guy named La Parka who was a former WCW character. They brought back the character in AAA, I'm guessing. They had him come out instead of Finn Balor. So the Royal Rumble was full, and you had La Parka come out and was dancing. And when I tell you this shit was horrible, it was horrible. Excuse my French, but this was terrible. La Parka came out. He was eliminated by the Austin Theory. Dragon Lee came out. As soon as I'm like, who is this? Now, at this point, I'm getting aggravated. He comes out number 19. I'm like, man, who is this? Like, what's going on? Who is this? And all of a sudden, a huge dragon comes on screen. I'm like, who is this? And then Dragon Lee, I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? Anyway, Logan Paul comes out after that. Then LA Knight. LA Knight makes his return just to be eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes basically jumped on a rope and basically kicked him and eliminated him out the ring. Brock Lesnar comes out after LA Knight. And I'm going to get to Brock Lesnar's elimination. The Miz comes out. Rey Fenix comes out. Then you had Jey Uso come out. You had him come out through the crowd. And when he came out through the crowd, Cody Rhodes and LA Knight eliminated Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was very reckless in this match. He suplexed Cody Rhodes basically onto his shoulder and basically almost did on somebody else. He basically suplexed him on somebody else. Then after that, Brock Lesnar was just reckless. He came in there. He lasted from the Miz, Rey Fenix, and then when Jey Uso was making his entrance through the crowd, which I don't understand why they had Jey Uso come out throughout the crowd. In a Royal Rumble match, they had him come out and start yeeting with the crowd. Whoever thought about doing this is just dumb. Why would you have him come out at the crowd in the Royal Rumble match when you know it's going to take him a long time because you're in a stadium damn near? And by the way, the Royal Rumble, the rant was so long, about time the people made it to the ring, they did a couple moves, the next entrant was out. What was going on? This show was not good at all. It was a snooze fest and it was boring. So Jey Uso comes in. When Jey Uso's coming in, Brock Lesnar gets eliminated. He was only in there for literally like 3 or 4 minutes. What was the point of flying him out there? What was the point of him FaceTiming Pat McAfee that he was in the Royal Rumble if you're going to just have him come out there? He was number 22. He was by the time Jey Uso came out, before he even made it to the ring, Brock Lesnar was eliminated. He lasted 3 entrances. The Miz, Rey Fenix, and then Jey Uso, he got eliminated. Then after that, he leaves, and that's it. Then after Jey Uso comes out, Roman Reigns. And by the way, when Jey Uso comes out, what does he do? He goes out there and says, run it back, and then they play his music again. He has a Olafala around his neck. It looks like a flower one version, not the actual Olafala, but it has like a thing. I forgot what it's called around his neck. He breaks that. He's yeeting with everybody. And if I'm somebody in that Royal Rumble, he climbs to the second rope. I'm like, somebody actually said this on X. When Jey Uso runs it back and he starts yeeting, I would throw him over the top rope. And that's exactly what he should have done. Somebody should have thrown him over the top rope. I would have thrown him over the top rope if I was in the ring. What are you doing having I understand that Survivor Series, it was War Games, and he was on top of the cage, but this is different. What are we doing? And then Roman Reigns comes out, gets his nice power. Roman Reigns comes out. He's number 26. He comes out. He takes his time going to the ring. After that, Roman Reigns is in. He gets into the ring. He's in the ring with Jey Uso. They're cousins. Remember, bloodline. They're cousins. They're in the ring. Roman Reigns is like, oh, we're going to run it back? We're going to run it back? We're going to do it? And they're doing it with their hands. Run it back. And then Roman Reigns just goes, and he turns around, and he punches Jey Uso and made Jey Uso look like an idiot. And then they actually had the nerve to play the music again. Roman Reigns turns around and hits Jey Uso, and I'm like, what are you doing? You just look dumb. And then after that, Jacob Fatu comes out. Cody Rhodes tries to do a suicide dive on the outside. After he tries to do a suicide dive on the outside, they get back in the ring. They're fighting each other. Penta then comes out, which released no reaction. Then Randy Orton's number 29. And then Gunther comes out limping at number 30. So you gave Gunther the second match on the card and said that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble. What was the point of... Why would you not put Finn Balor in this? What was the point of Gunther being in the Royal Rumble if you're going to have him be eliminated? He was eliminated by Roman Reigns. Spoiler, Roman Reigns eliminated him. Roman Reigns also eliminated Jacob Fatu, and he eliminated Jey Uso after making him look dumb. He speared Superman punched everybody. Then he, gets speared by Jey Uso. Then after that, Jey Uso getting ready to throw him over the rope. He throws him out of the ring. Again, the winner of this match was Roman Reigns. It came down to Roman Reigns and Gunther at the end of this match. It was Roman Reigns, Gunther, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. Logan Paul got a Superman punch. He basically tried to do the jump on the rope and do basically a clothesline, but he got Superman punched and thrown out of the ring. After that, Randy Orton was eliminated by Gunther, and then Roman Reigns and Gunther was left. Roman Reigns speared Gunther and threw him over the top rope. The winner of this match was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wins his second Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns also eliminated 5 people throughout this entire match. He had the same amount of eliminations as Oba Fimby. And now he gets to go on to main event WrestleMania. Now with Roman Reigns winning this Royal Rumble, he was the obvious choice because Cody Rhodes, by the way, he was eliminated by... I forgot to mention that part. He was eliminated by Drew McIntyre. Jacob Fatu had Cody Rhodes hanging on the ropes. And then Drew McIntyre came and Claymore Cody Rhodes. Now, my overall opinion about this is, if you're going to call somebody the Royal Rumble, this is basically setting up for another match. And I'm tired of it. I do not want to see Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre again. Now that Roman Reigns has won the Royal Rumble, I don't want to see him versus CM Punk at WrestleMania. I want to see Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk at WrestleMania. With Cody Rhodes turning heel and having that match. But the company is so lazy and so afraid to do stuff because they're making so much money off his merchandise that they don't want him to turn heel. What's the point? And by the way, when Roman Reigns eliminated Jey Uso, that had a big pop. Everybody loved seeing him get eliminated, which I told you guys, he did not get the greatest reaction when he said he's going to go back-to-back and win his Royal Rumble twice. He did not get a great reaction. Again, Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. This Royal Rumble was decent. It was okay. It wasn't that great. Again, Roman Reigns won. I keep saying again all the time, but he did. Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. I'm glad he did. There was nobody else to win. Again, I told you guys that if Cody Rhodes won it again, he was going to get booed out of that building. Jey Uso was going to get booed. If Gunther won that match, he was going to get booed out of the building. There was nobody else to win this Royal Rumble. There was nobody. You're not giving it to Brock Lesnar. You're not giving it to Randy Orton. Roman Reigns was the only ideal choice for this match and to win. There was nobody else that was here that you could have positively said to yourself, hey, you know what? We're going to have him win the Royal Rumble this year. Roman Reigns was the obvious choice because he went on Pat McAfee's show and literally said, I stepped away. I wasn't really around. I let you guys try to build up these stars and you guys didn't. I'm coming back for what's mine. And at WrestleMania, whoever he faces, whether it's Drew McIntyre or CM Punk, he needs to win and walk out of WrestleMania the world champion. I know a lot of people don't want to see it, but guess what? He's the biggest marquee name you got because you didn't build anybody else. Oh well. This is what you get for having bad booking. This is what you get for booking stuff that is completely terrible. This is what they get as a company. This is what you get. You get Roman Reigns doing a Pat McAfee interview, basically shooting on you as a company, but also being a character, saying you guys are not developing any stars. This is your fault. This entire Royal Rumble, this show again was a D plus for me. If I'm being nice, it's a C minus at best. It was a D plus in a high regard. And that's telling you something. There were no surprises in this match either. There were no surprises at all. Triple H said, we will have surprises in this Royal Rumble. Who was the surprise? Mr. Iguana? You can kiss my backside. La Parka? You can kiss my backside. Royce Keys? He's not even known. He didn't get reaction because he's not known. This is why you don't debut new people at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. In Riyadh. This is why you don't put new people there. Brock Lesnar didn't do anything. Why'd you put him in this match? This is an embarrassment. Good for Roman Reigns that he won this match. This was an embarrassment of a show. If you watched the highlights or you didn't get a chance to watch it, I'm saving you the time. This show was a D+. And I guess Monday Night Raw for 2.5 hours from 8 to 10 on Netflix is going to be horrible too. Because Roman Reigns is probably not going to show up. Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown. CM Punk is probably only going to show his face. LA Knight, by the way, he eliminated the entire division except for Logan Paul and Braun Breaker, but the other two, Austin Theory and Bronson Reed, he eliminated them. But again, this entire Royal Rumble card was a snooze fest. It was a disappointment. I thought AJ Styles and Gunther had the best match of the night. They had the best match of the night, to me, in my opinion. Liv Morgan won. Okay, AJ Styles lost. Gunther won. Drew McIntyre won. We all know he was going to win. And Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. Again, he was the only choice that there was. And Triple H. I want to get to Triple H because he said something at the post-show. When this show was over, they had massive pyro at the end. Because I guess you can't travel with the pyro back or you have to mail it, ship it. I don't know what they can do with pyro. But at the end of this, they had so much pyro. I'm like, the show didn't go off yet? They had so much pyro. That's how much pyro they wasted at the end of this Royal Rumble. They could at least give it all that pyro to Roman Reigns. They just gave him a little bit, and then they just start shooting pyro at the end of this. The amount of pyro that was used, I was like, man, what are you guys doing? Your pyro budget for this show must have been insane. Now, I'm going to read you guys something, a quote from Triple H that he said on the Royal Rumble post-show. And this made my blood boil as I'm looking down reading it. It says, Triple H claims that tonight is the start of a new era. Now, let me say this. Triple H, with all disrespect, shut up. Shut up. I am tired of this guy continuously lying. He said we're going to get surprises tonight. We didn't get nothing. It was going to be a great show. It was a horrible show. It was a D+, I told you guys. Triple H said that we were going to get surprises, which we did not get. What was the surprise tonight? If you saw this show, let me know in the comment section down below. What was the surprise? Nothing. Tonight starts the new era. Shut up. Tonight was a downgrade and the road to WrestleMania is blank. Because Roman Reigns is barely going to be there. Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes continuously running the back is getting annoying. This is probably one of the worst Royal Rumble shows, being 4 matches in a long time. People saying the men's Royal Rumble was good. It was decent. Roman Reigns winning basically made it a little bit better. But Triple H saying we're getting surprises and we didn't get any. And not only on top of that, but saying tonight starts a new era. Man, if you just don't shut up. You are in no position to say that. You continuously keep lying to the fans and lying to the public about having a new era, having all this stuff, promising us everything at a time, everything, promising us this, and that. Oh my God, it's going to be a new era. You're never going to see it coming. If you thought this was good, what about tonight at SummerSlam? And it turned out to be horrible. In WrestleMania, you did this. Why do you keep lying to the people? I think you're doing this because you just want to be a troll. And you know people online are basically kicking your back in and telling you how awful this Royal Rumble was booked. And how awful this show was. And so you're going to continue to keep trolling people. At some point, enough has to be enough. We dealt with this with Vince McMahon because he owned the company. Now, you don't own this company. I want you to be head of creative because I believe in Triple H and what you can do. But man, you are horrible. This entire year has been horrible for WWE, and 2025 was horrible as well. You guys cannot follow the Bloodline storyline with The Rock, Roman, even when that ended. You guys cannot follow up after that. And it's just simple as that. Triple H continuously keeps lying to the people. Please stop talking. Stop showing your face, stop talking until you give us something that's absolutely real and guaranteed to be great. This show was not great at all. This show was terrible again. I don't know what they're going to do on Monday Night Raw. On Monday Night Raw, you have Stephanie Valkyrie and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World title in the Philadelphia Street Fight. Going into Raw this Monday, who cares? Royal Rumble was a D+. Who cares? This show was not good. Let me know in the comment sections down below how you guys felt about the Royal Rumble. Again, Triple H lied again. I told you guys this was it. This was the no excuses for tonight. He lied again, said he was getting surprises. We did not. Not only did we not get surprises, but he said it's going to start off a new era, which he always says that, which he's lying. Again, let me know in the comment section down below how you guys felt about this entire show. If you guys felt like I'm putting it down too much, let me know your true thoughts and feelings. No sugarcoating here. Put it in the comment section down below. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Tune into the channel for more great content. Please share with your friends and family so we help the channel continue to grow. Until next time, guys, I'll see you for my Monday Night Raw review. Make sure you hit that like button again. Until next time, guys, see you real soon.